Thank you for joining PPE, or Personal Protective Equipment for Long-Term Care Ombudsman facility visits. This video is intended to show Texas Ombudsman the types of PPE required to make facility visits and how to use that PPE. Let's start by going over the types of PPE Ombudsman will need for facility visits. Each Ombudsman should have the following items in preparation for a visit. This is a full infection control kit containing a disposable gown, gloves, an N95 respirator and storage bags, disposable wipes, a trash bag for discarding used items, a surgical mask, hand sanitizer, and a face shield or goggles. Let's begin by talking about the types of PPE required depending on the facility visit the Ombudsman is making. Full PPE, which includes gloves, a gown, goggles or a face shield, and an N95 respirator, is required when an Ombudsman is visiting a warm or hot zone. A warm zone is where residents with unknown COVID-19 status are residing, and a hot zone is an area with residents that have positive COVID-19 status. An N95 respirator is required for indoor visits in a cold zone when the Ombudsman is not being routinely tested for COVID-19 or if the Ombudsman is not fully vaccinated. A cold zone is an area where residents with negative COVID-19 status are living. A surgical mask is allowed for outdoor visits when the Ombudsman is being routinely tested for COVID-19. A surgical mask is also allowed for indoor visits when the Ombudsman is fully vaccinated and being routinely tested for COVID-19. Let's start with donning or putting on our N95 respirator. Start by removing the N95 respirator from its storage bag. Place over your nose and mouth, putting the bottom strap low on your head and the top strap high on your head. Make sure it covers your chin and fits over your nose. Perform a seal check by sharply exhaling and inhaling and checking for leaks. Then perform hand hygiene by using hand sanitizer. Rub for 20 seconds until dry. Next, clean off your lanyard and badge using a disinfectant wipe to protect from bringing in any unwanted contaminants. And you're all set. While in the facility, you'll need to perform hand hygiene in between residents' rooms or if you come into contact with a soiled or commonly used surface. Wash hands for 20 seconds and dry with a paper towel. Alternatively, you can use the hand sanitizing station within the facility. Again, rub dry. Next, let's talk about doffing or taking off your N95 respirator. Start by wiping down your badge and lanyard with the disinfecting cloth. Perform hand hygiene by using hand sanitizer. And then remove by touching only the straps and putting in your paper storage bag. As a reminder, max use of an N95 respirator is 5 times, so you may want to mark for how many times you've used your N95 respirator. Finally, use hand sanitizer one last time and you're all set. Let's now talk about donning or putting on full PPE. As a reminder, full PPE is required when visiting residents in a warm or hot zone. Start with hand hygiene using your hand sanitizer. Rub hands until dry. Take your disposable gown and put on, making sure your thumbs go through the thumb holes. Next, take your N95 respirator out of its storage bag. Fit around your nose and mouth. Put the bottom strap low around your head, the top strap higher. Ensure it covers your chin and nose, and perform a seal check by sharply inhaling and exhaling to make sure there's no leaks. Next, put on your face shield or goggles. Finally, don your gloves. Make sure that the sleeve of your isolation gown is tucked inside each glove. And you're all set. Now let's talk about doffing or taking off full PPE. You'll need to remove and change full PPE in between buildings and take off PPE after your visit. Start by removing your gloves by pulling one off one hand, folding it into the other, and pulling off the other hand. Throw it away. Remove your face shield or goggles and wipe down with a disinfecting wipe. Remove your disposable gown. And throw away in your trash bag. Perform hand hygiene by rubbing your hands together with the hand sanitizer until they're dry. Next, take off your N95 by touching only the straps. And putting it in its paper storage bag. Once again, perform hand hygiene with your hand sanitizer. You're ready to go. Next, let's talk about donning or putting on our surgical mask. Surgical masks are allowed for outdoor visits when the Ombudsman is being routinely tested and indoor visits when the Ombudsman is both fully vaccinated and being routinely tested. Take your hand sanitizer, perform hand hygiene by rubbing your hands together until the sanitizer dries. Take your surgical mask, place the loops over your ears, and pull up and down to ensure it covers your nose and mouth. Once again, perform hand hygiene. And use a disposable wipe to clean your badge and lanyard. You're ready for your visit. Lastly, let's talk about doffing or removing your surgical mask. Remove using the loops over your ears and discard in your trash bag. Perform hand hygiene by rubbing your hands together until the hand sanitizer is dry. You're all set. Thank you so much for joining us at the Texas office of the State Long-Term Care Ombudsman to discuss long-term care ombudsman and PPE for facility visits.